Hi everybody, Monica here at Wellbeing Mastery. Welcome to our quick live today. We have a special occasion. We have amazing Suzanne Wagner with us. She's going to talk about her work in a minute. And I just wanted to thank you so much for being here. And, there's a special occasion because I have a online well-being mastery course or show cooking up for you. It's going to go live on the 24th of May for 2 weeks, and we have 27 amazing guest speakers. And so what is it all about? So, if you're struggling with chronic pain, if you've tried everything, if you've been, really feeling like your life, there's no energy in your life, there's, you're struggling constantly with just not being able to be in your body in a way that you want to. What I've done, because I've been working with people who've been struggling with that for many years, and what I've done, because I really wanted to bring more knowledge and more information, more inspiration to people, I have invited 27 guest speakers. They all sharing during the show when it goes live on the 24th of May. So I just want to invite you. If you feel an inkling, it's completely free. There's no obligations. You can join us and listen to our amazing speakers. And we're having some fun on Facebook because we're inviting our guests to just share quickly and give us a little a little snippet, a little introduction to what's happening. So I'm putting the link down in the comments later. There is a link, I believe, somewhere in the Facebook description. So you'll be able to sign up for the show and listen to all our guest speakers completely free, 27 of them. And Suzanne is going to be one of them. So welcome, Suzanne. Well, how are you?
I am great, and I'm super excited about this. And I've sent a lot of information out through my channels, and people are
Yes.
responding, and they're really excited, and they're so grateful about it because we live in this time. And, my name is Suzanne Wagner. I'm a professional psychic and an astrologer, and I have written books on tarot and numerology that are at Amazon, and you can buy them. And we are in this really tricky astrological time. And, I thought your timing of this was perfect, but I've known you for 20 plus years, and your intuition is always so bang on so many things. And I've been seeing with my clients that people are in all forms of pain because the heaviness of this astrology and that what we're all going through. And so we're in this global malaise that we're trying to figure out how to get out of, and it requires us to find new tools. And the tools that used to work don't work anymore because we're in the Aquarian age, and the Aquarian age says we've got to change, and we've got to progress, and we've got to go forward, and we've got to take some risks, and we've got to get out of our little ruts and our boxes and open up to new possibilities. And you and I have gone through so many different healing modalities and tools in our life, and we've learned that so many things really, really help and really work. And if you all are out there feeling, miserable, depressed, stuck, physically in pain, emotionally in pain, spiritually lost, not knowing what you want, Monica's got some incredible teachers and facilitators that this is what they do all day. And we do it all from different angles. And that's what makes it exciting, because you'll get to have different flavors and try some different things and see what aligns for you personally at this moment, because we're not all at the same place at the same time, but we are all in this together.
Yes, beautiful. What I loved about our conversation when we shot our interview, Suzanne, was when you were talking about, at some stages of our life, things work. And we think, oh, this is going to just work for me forever. But then we progress in our life, we gain years, we change things, and suddenly the old stuff is not working. And you bringing up the bigger picture of, where we are at in a bigger scale, where planet alignments are and all that, which you're the expert on. And so I really appreciate it. But tell us more about, I'm really so curious about why we have to be on that path pretty much all the time, the path of exploring. How am I going to evolve? How am I going to get to a place where I live optimal health? Why some old things don't work, and why do we have to constantly be on that journey?
Well, I find that pain is a marker. It's actually a marker that something is not flowing, the energy's not
Yeah.
flowing. And if we keep bumping up against the same emotional issue or stress issue or thought, because we can get stuck in our own head and in our own loops. And, we're in this time where I remember one of my teachers said that his goal in his life was to constantly, consistently, gently, lovingly lean into discomfort. And that I love that phrase because it's really the case that when you're too comfortable, you get lazy and you just don't try. You just don't stretch, you don't go anywhere. And pain
Mhm.
and discomfort makes us have to try new things and stretch. And then this whole other world opens up and we notice new things. And here we are, we're astrologically in this time. And I believe that all of you out there listening to these videos and interested in the Wellbeing Mastery course, you kind of know that there's something else. You know there's something more, but you just don't know where to look. And there's so much out there on the internet. How do you find it all? And fortunately, Monica's course is going to give you this taste test of a whole bunch of different areas that then you can sort and do it quickly without having to drag yourself through all the internet stuff, that it'll all be right there in a place that you can access.
Yeah.
So, to me, it's about, okay, we're astrologically in this time that we've been waiting for forever. In the 60s, we were singing about the coming of the age of Aquarius, right? And we're there. Well, guess what? It requires change. It requires us to open our minds, open our spirit, open our heart, open our empathy. And I find right now in this astrology with all this energy in Aquarius, we have to move forward. But it's kind of like, where do you fit into this mix? Do you fall into the places where you become soldiers for the negative and hate and you keep
Mhm.
feeding that? Or do you want to be a soldier or a minion or a legion of the angels for love and compassion and empathy and openness? And I know there's a lot of people out there that are just wanting to have this heartbreak open and they want to feel safe in doing that. And I find that it's easier if we do it together.
That's so true. I mean, and everybody brings this very special piece of information. We cannot just know it all. We cannot just go to one person who's going to fix all our problems. So, this is the idea that we all coming together and gathering the forces. And one thing that's brings to what you're talking brings to my mind is that on the show I've been talking with a lot of speakers about how when we're struggling in life, when we are depressed, when we have chronic pain that just doesn't go away, when there's no energy, what really is important is to start to find a bigger picture in our life, a bigger mission, a bigger vision, right? So I think you're talking about it, how we can align with something bigger, bringing that, positivity into the world. So can you tell us more about how do we find that purpose in life?
Well, and to me too, it's about how do you tie into that really magical divine energy that is always available. It's kind of like I feel like we're living, Star Wars, the Force, right? I believe there is a force outside of us, but we get so isolated and insular and tight that we don't open to that bigger place and that bigger picture. And I learned when I was a ballet dancer that doing 2 swan lakes a day and class and rehearsal, you can't do it. Like you physically can't do it. It's so exhausting. And I learned very young that it's like, oh, but if I ask for help from the divine and I let energy comes into me, suddenly I have the energy to keep going, that there is this infinite source of energy if we know how to tap into it. And, I've learned with my own body and I had a friend of mine that was a massage therapist and she had like the worst hips ever. Like if you looked at her hips, they were bone on bone and she should have terrible pain. But because she did all this inner work and she did meditation and she did acupuncture and she had cleared all the emotional trauma out of this area of her hips so that she walked fine, she had no pain, and the doctors could not figure out how she, but it's because we're holding emotional trauma, past life trauma, all this stuff in our body, our mind can put us into trauma. We can get caught in a belief or a thought that, it's always bad or it's always shitty when it's not. And you have to kind of pull yourself back and go, wait a second, I'm fine. The bills are paid. Like everything's fine. But we have trained our brain to be more important than our heart. And I
Yes.
think that this is the key. It's like we have to start paying attention to this and feeding this and nurturing this and doing things for your own healing and self-reliance is really important to
Mm.
empower confidence. And when you feel confident, you will go out there in the world and feel more confident in engaging the world and less like a victim.
Yes, so true. And I love that you bring the emotional part of it because we are multidimensional beings. We have emotions. We have the body that's physical. It has its own needs on a very physical level, but it all works together. And then the mental part where we have our belief systems. And belief systems, I feel personally that this is the fastest thing we can switch. The mind is fast, right? I can
Right.
switch from, just feeling like desolate and not really, like having no purpose in life. I can just switch and look at a different, vision right
Mhm.
now. And so this actually been coming up on the show a lot as well, how we do that. So we
Mhm.
have all the strategies and guidance rather, how to do it, how to switch on a dime sometimes, because we can do it.
Mhm.
And I know, Suzanne, you are talking about it too. And yeah, so tell us more about, how people can connect with you and what kind of, how do you help people? I would love to hear.
So I do a mixture of numerology, astrology, tarot, channeling. A lot of people see me as a spiritual motivator, a spiritual counselor, because, I love inspiring people to feel into the truth of who they are. So one of the gurus used to say about me that, see, they'd say, Suzanne, you're like a musical instrument that when you get next to someone's energy field, you play their song back to them. And when they hear their own song, they open and they relax and they remember, and then they're forever changed. And so I think there's nothing more intimate than really merging with another person's essence and really discovering what is inside of them that is longing to come out and be a gift into the world. And so I'll use all the different tools because I always think the tools are like, okay, if you look at it from this angle and this angle and this angle and this angle, then you end up with a
Yeah.
very clear image of what's going on. So if the astrology says one thing, the tarot says a similar thing, the numerology says a similar thing, then we know we're right on target. And so people say to me, you're ridiculously accurate, but I'm using more than one tool to kind of get there.
Yeah.
And so I love working with people. I do psychic readings. I am a massage therapist. I've been a massage therapist for 30 years, but I don't really do that anymore because I do so much of the psychic readings. And it's like the spiritual opening right now is profound in the world. There is a tremendous expansion in awareness,
Mhm.
and that
Yes.
is what the Aquarian age is. And I believe that we all need to get in touch with our intuitive tools. I think everyone has intuitive tools. Nobody is without them. We sometimes ignore them, but I
Mhm.
think that they're always there, and we have to have maybe somebody like me give you a little nudge to help you listen and remember that, oh, that was a sign. That was a sign right there, and I am okay, and I can relax because somebody's at my back. One of the
Mhm.
angels or guides is at my back. And so that's kind of what I do. And I do hour-long sessions. I do astrology charts. People come in to see me for all sorts of problems and reasons. And so you can find me on SuzanneWagner.com. That's my website. You can contact me through psychicdancer@yahoo.com. And you can also reach me with my phone number at 707-354-1019.
Oh, beautiful. Well, we're going to tag Suzanne here on Facebook so you can reach to her, I believe, that way too. And wow, well, thank you so much, Suzanne, for sharing this little snippet. So these are our conversations. They're our 40 minute long conversations with all our experts who are bringing one piece of this beautiful puzzle to help you step up in your life, in your health, mentally, emotionally, and physically, of course. So I'm so excited, so grateful for you, Suzanne, to come on here on the live. And so again, guys, I have the um, link to sign up for the show up in the description. I'm also going to put it in the comments. So please sign up, join us. It's completely free, no obligation. So, but you're gonna, I believe, receive a ton of value from everybody. So thank you again, everybody. Thank you, Suzanne, and we'll talk very soon. Okay.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.